these girls catch their breath.
Yeah.
I want to do a song that I've been doing for 2-3 years now, I guess, and I think it's one of the most special songs that I've ever had the privilege to sing. There's a message in this song that I think is so appropriate for the world we live in today. You know what? This world is a scary place.
Amen.
And most of the time, we feel like we don't have very much control over things that are going on. I'm glad today that my hope is not whatever happens in Libya, or it's not what the diesel pump shows next week when we leave out, fill that bus up. My hope is not in some program the government may or may not pass, or the budget, or whatever. All that stuff is part of this world, and God said we were going to live in it. There'd be trouble. But I'm glad to know that when it comes down to the end, my hope is in the Lord. It's not in anything else but Him. Amen. They heard God say, "Have you considered my servant Job? He's one who's faithful, all that he knows. Job lost his family, his land, and all his wealth when he wouldn't curse God. Job lost his health. Job's cries could be heard from the ashes where he lay. Through the pain and suffering, Job had to say, "My hope is in the Lord. I will trust in Him and Him alone. Though death knocks at my door, my hope is in the Lord." As the doctor broke the news, it could be a week, a month, and maybe 2. The cancer has spread, death will find its way.
He's looking at you.
Nothing I can do, and there's nothing I can say. Then the young man raised his trembling hands as his eyes filled with tears. You could hear him softly say, through the pain, the fear, "My hope is in the Lord. I will trust in Him and Him alone. Lord, death knocks at my door. My hope is in the Lord. Though fear surrounds me and it seems there is no hope, there's one thing I'm sure of. There's one thing that I know.
Hey, that's
Oh,
When I was down and in despair, I fell down on my knees and I called on God in prayer. I thanked Him for His blessings and named them one by one. But most of all, I thank God for all He's done. Somebody ought to testify. Oh, somebody ought to testify. I said, for God I live, for God I die. Somebody ought to testify. Testify how God took out the heat, the fire, fire. Well, come here and go, what do you have to say? Nobody's waiting for you, somebody ought to testify. Oh, somebody ought to testify. I said, for God I live, for God I die. Somebody ought to testify. Yeah, I'm good to you. You ought to testify.
Turning it crooked.
Thank you all so much. We've been singing a long, long time, and we had the privilege to sing a lot of wonderful songs, and I hope that something we have sung here today has been a blessing to you, has touched your life. We are just like everybody else in this building, and we go through the same things that you guys go through, you know, all the family stuff and all that. You know, sometimes on the bus we just have to go to our own, well, I was going to say corner, but there's not too many corners. But we kind of got to get away from each other, you know. But we deal with the same things that you do in life. And this past December, Roger's mother passed away. She had battled with Alzheimer's disease for over 10 years. And I know many of you probably have a loved one, or at least someone that you know, that has this terrible disease. And it's very heartbreaking to just see your loved one slowly slip away from you. She was a wonderful lady. She was just a good woman. Everybody was always before herself. You know what I mean? You know people like that. Maybe some of you that way too. I strive to be that way. Every time I would call her and say, "What are you doing next Tuesday afternoon?" She'd say, "Well, what do you do?" And that has made such an impression on my life. And I had a wonderful mother-in-law. I could never have asked for a better one. And her example, and examples of the people that have meant so much in my life, my parents, and just a lot of folks that have really poured into my life, I believe is the reason why I stand here today. It's all about other people and how we influence other people in our lives. We have just released a new project back in November. It's called Stories and Songs. There are a lot of songs on this particular project that tell stories, and I love those kinds of songs. I think they really hit home for all of us. And this particular song reminds me of those that have gone before me and how they have lived out their faith just on a daily basis. They never stood on a platform. They never had their picture taken. They never did anything that the world might look at and be impressed with. But their whole lives were a testament to God's goodness and His greatness. And I know that you're sitting there and you can probably think of people in your life that have influenced you in the same way. And so I want to do this song in honor of them, because I truly believe that when one day, if we live our lives for Christ, that one day we will walk through heaven's gates and we'll hear Him say, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Welcome into the joys of the Lord." And I believe that we might just even hear the applause of heaven. Listen. She rode the bus until the dusty road came to an end. A missionary answering the call. She made her way through mountains, never looking back, until she reached the Claiborne village wall.
Video.
For 47 years, she told how Jesus saves. There were few successes, but she faithfully remained. And when she breathed her final breath, only native people breathed. But as she arrived in heaven, she could not believe.
Is it my turn?
She heard applause echo through the courtyard, and all the jasper walls. Applause, the sound of saints and angels welcoming her where she belonged. And right before her eyes stood
Who got that one? Thank you.
leading all of
Got put a D in it.
He loved his wife for 50 years.
I don't have nothing.
They brought up 3 sons. He ran a little country grocery store. He never made a million, but he made a happy life, and always said he couldn't
You got that
ask for
one.
more.
Put a D.
And when he saw his neighbor in need
right.
of daily bread,
Oh.
there'd be a car